Good evening, welcome. So glad you are here. Gather on in. I hope you have had a good first part of the week. Welcome to our midweek check-in. This is our time to be together in this space and sort of get over the hump. They call this hump day. So that's what we're doing, is just sort of getting over that hump and connecting a little bit. That's why we call this midweek connection. And again, I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you for being in this space. If you feel so led, share this to your page. Share it with someone else. Send it by messenger. You can also connect to our YouTube page if you have not, if you have not subscribed yet to our YouTube page. Please do that. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's One Love Spirit Center on YouTube. Just put it in the search. You can find it right there. We are streaming live this evening, both to Facebook and to YouTube. We stream live to those platforms every Wednesday and Sunday. So if you know someone who's not into Facebook, and I know some people who are not, but they're willing to utilize YouTube, then please let them know that we are available there. And more than happy to serve. I'm excited about being with you this evening. Have some things that I really want to share with you that I think are important as we go along through the rest of this month, looking at loving beyond the veil. We're practicing on purpose, purposeful love. And in some ways, we're reimagining, rethinking. For me, I'm repenting of the way I have seen love and the way I've seen the world and the choices that I have made. And I'm believing that as I move through this month, that loving awareness is becoming more and more real to me, and hopefully it's becoming more and more real to you. I wanted to talk about, for just a few moments this evening, loving beyond the veil and having a teachable spirit. I know people who claim to be and believe they are enlightened, believe that they are somewhat spiritual giants. And honestly, I'll tell you the truth, if there's someone that feels that way, I question their level of spirituality, honestly. If we condescend to other people, if we look down our nose at others, I don't know that we are as in tune with the essence of Christ as we think we are. As I've moved through my life in the shift that happened in my theological way of seeing the world, I had anger and some disdain for the evangelical church at large, because I believed, and I still believe, that the church in general has done a disservice to humanity. The difference is, though, now, is that I'm not angry about it. There are things that come up sometimes that have a tendency to cause me to get a little angry, but I don't believe in condescending to those folks. They believe what they believe. I simply believe in a God that's more expanded. I believe in a theology that's more expanded, and I don't believe in the dogmas around Scripture, following God, relationship with Jesus, and whatever other dogmas are out there. I believe that, if anything, we should be dogmatic about love. So I wanted to speak this evening a little bit to this tendency we have to think we know a whole lot. See, the thing is, we believe a whole lot, but I think we know very little. Mark Twain, who was comedic, funny, but very wise individual, said this one time, and I love this quote. He said, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so." Let me say that again. It ain't what you know that gets you into trouble, or it ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. Think about that. How many times in your life have you been absolutely sure that you were right about something, only to find out that you weren't necessarily right? See, a lot of times in our pursuit to be right, as we feed the ego, we tend to draw to ourselves fallacies. If nothing else, just because the ego. And then we feed the ego, and as we feed the ego, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. On the inside of you are two wolves. One is ravenous and violent, and the other is kind and gentle and strong. The one you feed is the one that's the most healthy, or the strongest. So when we feed our ego with the things we think we know, and we spend our time investing in wanting to be right. One of the biggest breakdowns, I think, in any kind of relationship is when someone, absolutely has to be right. Has to have the last word. Has to be the one in charge. My opinion matters more than yours. That will get any relationship into trouble. A lot of times we do that. One of the things that I've found to be really cool in a relationship is to be able to say these words. You know, you might be right about that. I'm going to have to think about that just a little more. Or, you are right about that. Or, that's an interesting point of view. I need to research that. Thank you for helping me to think. Thank you for challenging my belief systems. It's a sense of humility, and it also diffuses the bomb of anger and outburst. And I'll tell you something else it does. It diminishes the ego. The ego can't stand it when you are willing to say in a conversation, especially when a conversation has come up that's conflict oriented or that is tense, especially in these tense political times. Those moments when you could just like open up both barrels and give it to them. But there's a calling down deep. I'm telling you, when we act like water, in fact, I'll read this real quick. The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. It is content with the low places that other people disdain. Thus, it is like Christ, or the Tao. In dwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In conflict, be fair and generous. In conflict, be fair and generous. Give an amazing sense of generosity to people when there's opportunity for conflict. Give a little of that generosity and back up from the emotions. Remember, you're not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, you're not your emotions. And so as your emotions begin to rise, watch that. Watch that. And remember that when you put the ego in the back seat or even in the trunk, you're less likely to have an ongoing conflict, and you're less likely to get into arrogance and pride. I love this poem, and I'll read it as we get ready to come to a conclusion this evening. And I know that this may be just short of a sort of a short burst this evening, but it's been a long day, and my body is still trying to fully recover. So I know that you'll understand. But I think this poem is very poignant, and I love it. It's a little bit of humor and drives home a very powerful message. It's titled The Cookie Thief by Valerie Cox. A woman was waiting at an airport one night with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock as the gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I might blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered, what will he do? With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother, this guy has some nerve and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known when she had been so galled and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and she sank into her seat, and then she sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair. The others were his, and he was just trying to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. How often have you been convinced, absolutely convinced of something, only to find out later that you were mistaken? This is why I think we have to be careful that we hold loosely what we say we believe about anything, especially about God, religion, politics, and all of those things that people seem to hold so sacred. Let's be mindful that we don't get ourselves into a space of rigidity and dogma. I believe loving beyond the veil is inviting us into a place of humility, to let go of our dogmas, to let go of the need to be right. If you hold on to the need to be right, in some way you're already wrong. If you can surrender to loving awareness, to love beyond the veil, to give the grace to everyone else that you would want for your own self, if you can do that, you can create a world not only peaceful for you, but peaceful for those around you. You can change your relationships. And you'll find yourself living a more peaceful, unified, harmonious life as you let go of the need to be right. This is a part of loving beyond the veil. Allow yourself to be in that space of loving beyond the veil. I want to say thank you for joining me this evening for this midweek connection. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this ministry that you're a part of. One Love Spirit Center is yours. It's not mine. I felt led to start it, but it's yours. It's ours. It's a collective. And we are on a mission. We're on a mission to bring real, true, unconditional love, radical inclusion to the world. To express pure presence, to discover pure presence. When you support this ministry, when you do that, you help us to continue being able to do this. And so if you feel so led, drop a financial gift into the mail. Send a gift if you want to. And listen, this is a 501c3. It's a nonprofit. And so there is tax deduction for all of your gifts and your giving in that way. So if you feel so led, send us a gift. Make that exchange if this is being a blessing to you. Also, you can utilize PayPal. A lot of people use PayPal and digital giving now. I know I do. And so PayPal is available, onelovespiritcenter@gmail.com. Also, we have Venmo. We are One Love. We are One Love on Venmo at We Are One Love. Also, be sure you visit our website. Excuse me. IamOneLove.com. IamOneLove.com. It's our new website. All of the information is there for the variety of different things that we have going on. We're getting ready to do a book study together coming up the 1st of March on Wednesday evenings. We're going to start going through Brené Brown's book, Braving the Wilderness. If you haven't had a chance to experience Brené Brown, you certainly should. What a fantastic author and teacher. She's wonderful. But this book, Braving the Wilderness, was just had so much rich stuff in it. And we're going to be going through that on Wednesday nights. Our board of directors will be helping with that, helping to do a chapter each week. So you won't just have to look at me every single Wednesday. They'll be helping with giving a chapter each week and a little bit of their own commentary on what it meant to them. And we'll take questions and thoughts by way of email or by way of messenger as you go through the book. So you can pick it up on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, anywhere where fine books are sold. Braving the Wilderness by Brené Brown. Join us for meditation tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us on Sunday for our Sunday Connection at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you so much. I appreciate you. We are One Love. Thank you for being here.